The movement of African countries reclaiming their gold and foreign reserves from nations like the United States and France has gained significant attention in recent years. This process is tied to larger discussions around financial sovereignty, post-colonial relations, and the broader push for economic independence. Many African nations are demanding that their reserves, which were historically stored in foreign countries, be repatriated to promote financial stability and transparency at home. Here's a detailed look at the issue. During the colonial era, African nations were subjected to exploitation, and much of their wealth, including gold and other valuable resources, was extracted and sent to the imperial powers. After gaining independence, many African countries continued to store their foreign reserves in colonial powers' banks, often as part of their participation in the global financial system. In recent years, there has been an increasing call from African governments, intellectuals, and activists to repatriate gold reserves and foreign holdings stored in foreign banks. The call is rooted in the desire for greater economic sovereignty and financial independence, as well as to ensure that these reserves benefit the African nations directly rather than being used to prop up foreign economies. France's role in the financial landscape of former colonies is central to this issue. Under the CFA Franc Zone arrangement, African countries are required to keep a significant portion of their reserves in the French treasury, which critics argue benefits France more than the African countries themselves. France, as one of the top global financial centers, holds billions of dollars of African reserves. France has maintained its grip on these resources through a mix of economic agreements, military influence, and diplomatic ties. However, over time, many African nations have started to view this relationship as neo-colonial, with calls to sever ties and demand the return of their gold and reserves becoming more common. The response from Western powers has been mixed. While some African leaders have been able to negotiate partial returns of their reserves, the process is often slow, bureaucratically complicated, and fraught with political challenges. In certain cases, countries have faced diplomatic resistance when trying to repatriate their resources. The United States and France have both expressed a cautious approach, stating that the movement of gold and financial assets is subject to international agreements and regulations. Furthermore, they argue that such reserves are safer in foreign countries due to the global nature of banking systems and the stability provided by foreign institutions. However, the rise of China as a global economic power has led to a shifting dynamic. Some African nations are exploring alternative partnerships with China to diversify their economic relations and reduce reliance on former colonial powers. Reclaiming gold and foreign reserves represents more than just a financial maneuver. It's a symbolic act of economic decolonization. The movement reflects a larger effort by African countries to assert control over their own economies, reduce external influence, and create a financial system that better serves their needs. In addition, the conversation about repatriating gold is part of a broader critique of the global financial system, which many argue is stacked against developing nations. African nations are beginning to demand a more just system that allows for their natural wealth to stay within the continent, rather than being siphoned off to foreign banks. The repatriation of gold and foreign reserves is a key issue in the push for economic sovereignty in Africa. As more countries voice their intention to reclaim their wealth, the movement is gaining momentum, signaling a shift towards a more independent and self-reliant financial future. However, it remains to be seen how the West, particularly the United States and France, will respond to these calls, and whether Africa will be able to overcome the significant challenges involved in this process. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest in politics. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that matters. Join the conversation in the comments. Your voice is important. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.